Dominance hierarchy. Dominance hierarchy.
Have you heard of the dominance hierarchy term coined by Jordan Peterson? He's a man on the rise. He's got some really interesting takes, I think, and perspectives on a lot of kind of hot topics in the media right now. You can tell the guy does a lot of thinking for himself and is not just regurgitating Yahoo articles like most people do. But his belief, and he talks about this a little bit in his book, The 12 Principles, which I also read a couple weeks ago, that men are hardwired to look and tell where they fall in the dominance hierarchy, which just basically means, how do you stack up in terms of dominance versus everyone else out there? And he talks about how we naturally, in our heads, know where we rank, and then we just kind of know our role and we just kind of accept it. And looking around, this seems somewhat true to me. It does seem very true. But the thing I don't like about it is in his books and in his lectures, he talks about this and he talks about how in different creatures, I think it's lobsters or crabs, it's the same way. But he doesn't give any practical tips on how to grow or how to rise in the dominance hierarchy. It's almost like he thinks that the way that you're born, or once you get to a certain point and you're done kind of changing and developing, that you are where you are and you're kind of stuck, almost like a caste system, which is not the case at all. So in this video, I want to give 2 quick ways that you can immediately rise in the dominance hierarchy. The way I like to explain it is that in any social interaction, there's an interaction equilibrium. And that's where each person sees themselves in terms of social value versus the other person. So for instance, after a rock concert, the lead singer is talking to a fan backstage. How do you think that interaction equilibrium looks, or dominance hierarchy, however you want to explain it? Well, like this, right? The person has way higher social value than the person down here, and they're gonna act like it, right? What's the fan gonna do? Gonna be screaming, oh my gosh, I can't believe I get to meet you, oh my gosh. And what's the rock star gonna be doing? Yeah, cool, good to meet you, awesome, glad you came, appreciate it, right? In all their communication, they've accepted those roles. Now, that's an extreme example. It's hard to find an example more crazy than that. But what about like in the workplace, where there's just some guy there who always kind of talks down to you and acts like he's a little higher than you? Clearly he thinks he's higher than you in the dominance hierarchy. What can you do? I'm gonna teach you, there's so many different things you can do, but in this video, I'm gonna teach you 2. And the first one that's so easy and so powerful, just tweak your vocal tonality. So when you're talking to someone like that, go from a rapport neutral, or you see yourself as having a rapport neutral tone, which just means, to kind of quickly explain them, rapport neutral is how you talk to your friends or a peer, just the way you normally talk. Rapport seeking or supplicative, those are the same tone. That's like a fan to the rock star. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're here. How was your weekend? How are you? Rapport breaking, the best example I can think of is a police officer, license and registration, right? Not trying to impress anybody. They have the authority, they're bossing around. Do you know how fast you were going, okay? All I want you to do in this instance is go from a rapport neutral to a bit of a rapport breaking tone, okay? So if you're talking to them, maybe you're just at the coffee shop and it's Monday, or you're at the coffee area in your corporation, you probably go to the coffee shop with some guy who talks down to you. But you go up there and you're talking about your weekend, and say this guy's name is Bill and he always talks down to you a little bit. Well, when you're talking about your weekend, go from, yeah, we went out and we were on the motorcycles, to, yeah, we went out, we were on the motorcycles, it was a beautiful day, we went out there, how about you, how was your weekend? You change that tonality a little bit, and all of a sudden, subconscious in their head, like, why is Barron talking like that? He sounds much more confident. He sounds much more high value and high status. He's likely not thinking through these things logically, but his subconscious is telling him that. And now when you continue to do this every time you speak to him, you've taken it a touch down to rapport, a little bit rapport breaking, or what you think is rapport breaking. A lot of people don't understand the way they actually sound when they speak. They think they're in a rapport neutral voice. They're actually in a supplicative tone. But you take it down 1 step, immediately you're gonna rise in the dominance hierarchy and rise in the interaction equilibrium, and display to him, you're basically saying, hey bud, you don't have any higher status than me. You don't have any higher value than me, and I'm gonna communicate that through the way that I talk. It's gonna be tough. A lot of times when people first try to use a bit more of a true rapport neutral, rapport breaking tone, they find it tough. Like, oh, do I sound like a jerk? Do I sound like this? No, you sound like you are on the same level as this person. You're just used to talking in this other way because the other person's higher than you on the dominance hierarchy. Now, the power of your voice is so impacting on every single level of your social status and your social value. And that's all I want to talk about for that one in this video. But if you're looking to improve the power of your voice, so when you talk, people stop and they want to listen, it commands attention and respect, I suggest you go to vocalpowerbootcamp.com. You can touch or click up here as well. I've got a video there that's going to walk you through more how you can improve your voice, regardless what kind of voice that you're born with. Now, the second thing you can do is a body language technique. So in this instance, all you're gonna do is orient your body 30 to 45 degrees, 32.5 to 79 degrees, 30 to 45 degrees away from the person. So let's say once again, you're talking to Bill in the shop and he's being, just a little bit like aloof and he's talking a little bit down to you. All you're gonna do, just turn a little bit away. And now you're talking to him, but you're just kind of like this. What does that communicate? You can probably picture in your mind what that communicates right now. Not that interested in what you have to say. When you're talking to somebody like the boss, you're squared up immediately. Yes, sir, how do you do? How was your day? And all of a sudden you're, yeah, we went out. It was a nice day. We actually finally got to catch up on that barbecue place that I'm not sure if I told you about we were looking at. A really good time. How is that different than, yeah, we finally got to eat that barbecue place we were looking at. It was a really good time. Totally different feel. And it communicates that you're higher on the dominance hierarchy. Those are two very easy ways to immediately boost your level on that. Now, what do you do when someone actually tries to make fun of you? What if you're in a situation where you're trying to look really good, it's important to you, and someone's trying to make fun of you? What do you do? How do you handle it? I was out on a first date 2 days ago in Dallas, Texas. And there were 3 guys sitting to my right that tried to make fun of me. If you want, I'll tell you the full story right here and break down exactly how I handled it so you know how to handle it if it happens to you. And if you haven't checked out that video on the vocalpowerbootcamp.com, you can touch right here to go check it out there. I'll talk to you soon.
And all of a sudden I heard something go, Charlie Murphy!